somebody's too stupid to watch their kid, and then like not ever cover up his face, even though he's the most recognizable Jedi that ever
Have you seen the newest DFAT mini?
We're live, by the way.
I'm on episode 3 right now.
Just now, we're
Oh,
live.
hey everyone. Anyways, have you seen the newest DFAT
Hi
mini?
everybody.
Hi,
No, I
everyone.
haven't yet. We'll talk about it later. Hello, everybody. Today we are covering, since we had to sit every episode, the She-Man series. We are going through the arguments today. Today, I think we're like, who are we watching exactly?
Two Left Thumbs is the YouTube channel. It looks like.
I was wondering why his icon looks stupid.
I can't say that.
Oh my gosh, you can't say that. Oh.
That's a rootism.
See, that is a tism that I am.
As much as I want to talk about another show, we gotta talk about this again.
Yeah.
Oh, what show would you like?
We're gonna stay on track.
Yep. Well, I figured I wanted to talk about Castlevania, but you know we'll save that for another time. And shit.
No, yeah, we can actually cover Castlevania. That'd be fine. That'd be really fun to cover.
Then I'll once I have it all in my head, I'll be able to express all my issues with it.
Yeah.
And you know, something meaningful. More meaningful than just a guy who's only seen season 1 and 2.
Well, yeah, all of us can sit and watch it. I've seen it multiple times, but then again, like Hero's pointing out things that it's never noticed. I guess it's because I'm too close to Castlevania, so it's turned my brain off. Yeah.
So this guy's YouTube channel is called Two Left Thumbs?
Yes, I'm assuming because he lost all of the fingers except for the thumbs.
Well,
yes.
Since that's his name, we're covering his video, which is titled "Why I Liked Monsters Universe Revelation Part 1." Now, we're gonna talk about why we ourselves didn't really... We kind of hated it, actually.
Yeah, we could not stand it. Like, it's just another one of those shows where a female character does something incredibly horrible and gets away with it.
Look, man, heaven's not that important.
Yeah, dude, no, the afterlife isn't that important. Just
early
spawn in hell, it'll be fine. It's a little warm, it's a little bit warmer, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
They didn't.
Eternal hell and torment is waiting for you when you die, no matter if you've done something good or.
They did it in WandaVision.
The moral system goes out the window now. No, the moral system goes out the window now. You can do anything and you'll still end up at the same place.
They did it in WandaVision, Black Widow. What else is there?
I'm surprised people didn't go nuts after that, honestly. Like, people just didn't have mental breakdowns. Just go, okay, not only are the people that I love and care for are all, like, double dead, now I go to hell and not even get to see them. Like, I'm gonna go person. Why do I get
Well, here's the thing. It's weird because there's only a heaven and a hell. There's no, like, in-between place. And the heaven isn't like normal heaven. It's like Valhalla. In He-Man, so there's like a handful of people who live there.
So wait, hold on. So it is just Valhalla and hell. That's it.
Yeah, basically.
So where's heaven? Because they specifically call it heaven, don't they?
They call it heaven, but it's basically Valhalla because only the good heroes get there. That is something I learned after our initial coverage.
Hero, quick question. Should I use the overlay, or do you think it'll be fine?
Um, hmm. I'd say I don't think we need the overlay.
Should we? Because like he most likely will be using footage, so I don't want to chance it.
That is fair.
Also, the screen on the stream. Yeah, you're fixing it now. I said, but like usually the YouTube videos are edited for the footage, right?
Yeah, but
Ideally.
it's a lot less lenient for. That's why that does the same thing with copyright stuff. Let's just put it up just to be safe.
All right.
Alright then.
Yeah. I cannot wait to have my brain melted tonight. God, it's gonna be fun.
Well, who knows? Maybe he has some good points that we didn't consider before.
That could be true.
Always gotta give the guy. You're breaking up? You're
That's
breaking
what
up.
you sound like.
Yeah, I know. You have to say it twice.
Alright. Shall we?
There's a lot of season 1 that I've just completely forgot about.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
In early August, I recorded my reactions
Now,
to
did we check that this
Masters
does
of the
cover
Universe
season 1 and 2,
Revelation.
right?
What?
Did we check to see if it covers season 1 and 2?
So
There,
We
everything.
did!
So, guys, hey,
I'm not talking about shit.
Can I speak? Because I have the answer. All right.
Yes.
All right, Cucks. All right, thanks. Anyways, so the first part of his video will like he has the videos in two. He has two videos. Video 1 covers season 1. Video 2 covers season 2.
Oh, okay.
So we are watching the part 1 video right now.
Okay,
So this should only cover season 1.
It would be greatly appreciated if there wasn't any talking, and what talking there was relegated to pause. Saying pause.
What?
And while the video is playing, if you want to say something, just
No, we
ask
know
me
how
to
to
pause.
do this. We've been doing this.
Okay.
We've been doing this
No,
for a year.
hey.
We know.
Okay, but I won't be able to hear you over the video.
Yeah, let's just say pause if we need to say something.
Why
Alright.
can't we just pause it ourselves?
Well, then we can just do that. But Soul said if he wants him to pause for us, then we should say pause before talking. So then he knows.
Because I won't be able to hear a word of what you're saying is while the video is playing.
Oh, will we even be able to be heard then?
I will. Problem is, I will be able to be heard. The audience will hear you and me as well over the video.
Okay. All I need to know.
So if we will?
Oh, click on.
Alright.
Back in early August, I recorded my reactions to Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1, really assuming that it would be a while before we saw the release of Part 2. And yeah, it was a while, but it still snuck up on me. So here I am quickly editing this together to share my thoughts on Part 1 the day after Part 2 released. Right on time. I probably just lost track of time because I was still reeling from the fact that 3 unrelated properties all chose the same main song for their debut trailers, like one day apart.
Nope.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to get there, but my mouse was not working.
Yeah.
So you might want to Mute it.
Good idea. Until we get past the.
Mute it. You mute it, and then we'll tell you once it gets past the song.
No, I can mute it on the YouTube end, in the OBS end. So I can unmute it once it. Yeah. I'll be fine.
There we go.
Oh, I hate this man already. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say
Is
that.
it because he shrunk the box?
No, it's just no. Don't skip back, Soul.
God
'Cause
damn
now
it.
it's gonna play this.
Why?
It's gonna. Soul, do you have it muted?
Yes.
Why
Okay,
did you
good.
skip when the music starts?
Sorry.
Oh, no, there's no excuse for that. Out of all things.
It's a fuck up. I was trying to wind back 2 seconds. Literally 2.
Look, we can't skip back if there was like the music, because that was the whole point.
Yeah.
I have it on mute, Hero.
Okay.
Does that happen?
Okay. So what I'm upset about is this is Loki.
Well, I think right now we're just showing songs.
I know, but bringing up Loki just makes me very frustrated.
I can imagine.
Alright.
Does that happen? Anyways.
Wait, so do you have it unmuted now?
Yeah. Yeah, I have it unmuted.
This He-Man series is meant to act as both a reboot and sequel to the original 80s cartoon. It seems to...
I don't think you can do both. You can't be a reboot and a sequel, can you?
You can be a spiritual reboot.
Yeah, maybe, but
you know,
well, I think what it means is it means is that it's a reboot, but like the events of the previous years are canon.
Oh, okay, so all the changes that they made are just out of the blue and fine in the narrative because it's both a reboot and a sequel. Piss off. Right. So
yeah, I think
if the events of the previous series are canon, then that brings up like a lot of questions.
Yeah, like how does
of
the
like
sword
contradictions,
lies. How does the sword work when, like, what? God, I just thought of all like the different things of people getting powers. Like how
why is the sword tied to all of magic?
Well, it's like the sword itself is the link between Eternia and magic, which is, was that ever the original series?
As far as I know, no.
No. Wait, yeah, in season 1, wasn't that the connection?
Yeah, because they break the sword and then Eternia loses its magic.
The one sword that a dude can hold is the reason why they all have it.
Yeah, because it's like the super special magic sword.
It's not even just a magical item, it's literally just like the key to everybody's survival. And they just clang it and beat on it.
Well, it's... I don't... Why is it the link of all magic? Did Eternia not exist before the sword? If Eternia dies without the sword?
Another thing, the reason you're not a hero Skeletor is because you don't ever give up the power freely. So if that is your only link to having magic to your planet, choose a champion and put the sword away. Give them another weapon. If you need another champion, just pop them with the sword too, because apparently in this universe you just become the champion without being chosen. Hide the sword and you know.
Well, it's like, why didn't Adam just like hit Duncan with the laser beam and make him He-Duncan?
Dude, He-Duncan. I need art of He-Duncan, dog.
I will provide after the stream.
Dude, he just has a light mace. shoot
He's
lasers.
a He-Man at arms.
Okay, if nobody actually saw our previous episode, Duncan is literally the only good thing that came out of it. That and maybe Skeletor's like cool-looking He-Man design, which we actually overanalyzed way too much to the point where I'm pretty sure just not even the actual writers thought of it.
Yeah, probably not, but that's our job.
just
That's the
thought,
job of a critic, and it's thankless
H.
work.
We had to put it in Skeletor's chest, and we were just like, well, it might be his obsession. You know, it might be symbolic.
Psychoanalyzing a villainous character for a design choice that he has no control over.
Yeah. Oh, this was fun.
Anyways, we are less than a minute into this video.
Yep,
we're like 16 minutes into the stream.
Probably 47 minutes. This is gonna be a two-parter.
16 minutes into the stream.
It's gonna end up being a fucking 4-parter with the second video.
Episode 19.
Discount and ignore any other installments entirely. The first season is being split into 2 parts, with the first 5 episodes out now, and the remaining 5 still to come. The response to this show has been split, to say the least. I wanted to balance out the discourse, as I actually...
Oh, so...
Hold on, what is this line theory?
So, when you mean you wanted to balance out the discourse...
Oh, wait, is that Shad?
Yeah, that is Shad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Critical Drinkers at the top.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I don't see it because of the actual icon thing at the top of the screen.
No worries.
Nice, oh boy.
And for Torius Unlimited is at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. So the line to your audience thing was that Kevin Smith was very much promoting this show with all the trailers and the shit is like, oh, this is a He-Man show. And then, like, a few days before the actual thing came out, he was like, lol, actually, the main character's Tila.
Which would have been fine, but you just really changed her character.
But it's like, why did you lie, though?
Yeah, also, months prior to release, he was doing all these interviews and shit, proclaiming how he was a massive fan of the original series. Even though years prior to those interviews, he was not. He made it clear that he had no love for it.
How many years was it exactly? Because he could have just watched it and became a fan. That's why.
Well, he established that he was in the relatively recent interviews that were, you know, part of the release cycle of the show. He was proclaiming that he was a fan of He-Man since he was a child. Which I don't believe.
Okay, yeah, you said he was a child, so yeah, he just flat out.
What?
Okay. What did the thing I just say not travel?
No, I didn't hear it. Because you were breaking up a little bit.
So yes, he did not travel.
Yeah, talk travel. But yeah, no, yeah, that's what I was saying. He lied completely.
Yeah.
So my next question is: how are you, a person we have never heard of? How many subscribers does this guy have?
I'm not quite sure actually.
Let me look it up.
Why don't I just check? They have about 152,000.
That's not rookie numbers, but still, like, how are you going to balance out? How are you specifically going to balance anything? Like, me as an audience member right now, I've never heard of you until today, so I assume that you.
Well, then I guess you didn't balance it out.
Yeah, he didn't balance it out. Well, he didn't say he wants to attempt. At the same time, that's a really poor choice of words.
Well, it's like, what do you mean, like, attempt? Are you saying, you doing this on purpose, like doing a positive review because there's so many negative ones?
Oh, that too. There's so many people that do that. It's like, oh my god, but there's so many people that like a show. It's poorly written. But let's say good things about it. That way people can feel good about themselves. I don't care about people. You shouldn't be so connected.
If you're reviewing
I
a
don't care
show
about
based
people.
purely off of the good alone, you're not doing a fair assessment of it and its content.
Exactly. You're just trying to appeal to a small niche of people that actually enjoy its writing. Oh god. Oh. But yeah. Um. I'm so tired of these kind of people.
Agreed.
Like,
So
yeah.
I'm
Maybe
saying that's like a
reiterate
maybe. I'm
what
not
do you
saying
mean
that's
maybe?
like 100. I'm not saying that's 100% what he's doing.
Oh, okay, I thought you were trying to disagree with what we said.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying is that I don't want to 100% assume his intentions. I'm just giving honest
Yeah.
thoughts on what I'm getting based off of
No,
what he
yeah,
said.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's more what you said has it's spun into a different topic. But yeah, it's something that needs to be addressed.
If he doesn't mean that, then sorry for putting that out there, Mr. Two Thumb Man.
Mr. Double Thumb.
Wouldn't it be funny if he made a response video to our stream and it was only 6 minutes long?
No. I'd love to, because I would love to debate this man. Genuinely
Well,
would love to.
I mean, we haven't heard any of his points. For all we know, this could be a meme video.
This is true. Or he could bring up some good points, or as I said earlier, he could bring up some good points that we never considered at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, we cover season 1 before. It's not like our system for bad change. We probably didn't pick one of those things.
Hmm. Let's continue.
I enjoyed the show quite a lot. It's not perfect by any means, and I'll definitely share my own complaints, but overall I think the show delivered something rather unexpected and pretty damn cool.
Toxic or Soul, one of you guys is echoing?
It's not me.
It's probably me then.
Why is the show so loud on your...
No, it's just my headphones are turned up to 11 because my ears are shit.
Ears, you're a skeleton.
Yeah, you don't have ears. Get the earbuds put into like the socket hole in the skull.
Fuck off.
Oh wait, you don't have them either. Skulls don't have socket holes.
No, I will fuck on.
Oh my god. He's doing it.
He's beginning to believe.
He's beginning to leave. No.
Is beginning to bleed.
Oh my god, Superman. Why? Sorry, we're getting off track.
Yeah, let's get back on track now.
What, us off
How's
track?
it going, everyone? My name's Graham, and welcome to Two Left Thumbs.
Oh, now we know
I grew
his
up with
name.
the original show, and would call myself a fan.
And we forgot
Not a
it
diehard
immediately.
of any sort. I haven't seen every
It's Graham.
episode. I'm
If he doesn't point out the fact that He-Man using the power without the sword in the original cartoon.
Well, no,
If he doesn't point it out, I'm going to scream. Because he
well,
calls
this is
himself
part one.
He-Man. I know. I'm just saying, if at any point he does not bring it up, I'm done.
Okay.
episode, I'm not a cur. I at most had one or two of the toys, but boy oh boy did I love tuning in for some muscle-headed super characters and their light-hearted banter and PSAs. This world was unique and weird and campy and
Oh my
so
God.
delightfully of its time. And with that last piece in mind,
Sorry?
I said, oh my god, because he punched the screen. Don't do drugs, kids! Punches the screen.
Do drugs.
super characters
cameraman
and their
did drugs.
lighthearted
Don't do
banter
drugs,
and
kids.
PSAs. This world was
Yeah.
unique and weird
What?
and campy and so delightfully of its time.
Pew,
And
pew.
with that last piece in mind specifically, I never really thought bringing back this franchise
Hold on. Key phrase of its time. Are you gonna try to bring up the fact that, like, since the audience, like, grew up, now, like, the shows have grown up, which I do actually agree with. Like, same thing with Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd has actually grew with its audience. But that's not gonna excuse how crap the writing is. Actually, no, because the people who wrote it grew up not being able to write. So, full
Yeah,
circle.
that is true.
Is that Travel Hero or no?
I'm a little confused on what the fuck you're saying.
See, he said that I'm assuming that he's saying that the show is supposed to grow with the characters and that or grow with the audience, and that the writing is supposed to change because of that. So I'm saying that since the audience or most writers nowadays write shit, that statement's kind of accurate.
Well, let's go back and see what he's saying.
Regardless, whatever he is saying is completely asinine.
Well, if we don't know what he said, 100%,
Yeah,
then how do you know?
Right.
I'm assuming.
Right. Feather.
Essays. This world was unique and weird and campy and so delightfully of its time. And with that last piece in mind specifically, I never really thought bringing back this franchise was worthwhile at all. But I was won over and convinced to give this a shot based on the involvement.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
So he said it was like of its time.
Yeah.
He didn't want to know why it was brought back.
He didn't directly trash it, which is
I
good.
thought what he meant with it, writing is fine because it grew with the writing. Plot.
You died.
I did.
Yes.
Well, nothing I was saying was worthwhile. It was more rambling than anything.
Okay.
Also, Castlevania.
Oh my gosh, Castlevania. Oh my god.
Of Powerhouse Studios, an all-star cast taking up the mantle.
Alright, let's check out some of these people here because I recognize some of them.
I do not.
So, they've got two of the Game of Thrones guys. Davos, I think is his name. He plays Duncan. He was pretty good. Cersei was Evil Lynn, and then they got Buffy herself to play fucking Tila.
You're joking.
Yeah, that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer right there.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you guys. None of you guys fucking listen to me.
No, I did. I heard you. I could hear the voice. I need to go back and watch season 1.
I can't believe she did not stake a single vampire in this show.
I know, right? Based opportunity. Well, no. Dude, she doesn't believe in magic, so she doesn't believe in the vampires. She'll just stab them and say you're not real over and over.
She doesn't believe in magic.
I don't believe in you. Dude, no, she's gonna join Cap.
Oh my god.
But then they're gonna fight because he believes in God. He'll be like, but that's bullshit.
No, she does because she uses crosses.
She's gonna be like, checkmate, atheist.
I don't believe in magic. I believe in the power of God.
What's the fucking difference? I don't know.
Jesus. Anyway, let's
With
continue.
a list of names so big that a heavy hitter like Kevin Conroy was left voicing Seaman.
Oh.
I mean, Merman. And nerd lord Kevin Smith seemingly coming at the show from a place of genuine love and personal fandom.
I want to
That
punch
felt
this
like
man.
A winning recipe, and I couldn't really
Kevin
pass.
Smith, not.
No, we already pointed this out. He lied.
I
Look
want
at
to.
Tila's face.
I want to punch Kevin Smith because there's a
That
fuck.
doesn't even look like a chick's face.
Yeah, I was actually planning on bringing up at some point during the last stream. Basically, say something along the lines of, she looks like a very thinly jawed dude
So you're saying she's She-Man.
with
She-Man.
lipstick.
You know, she has the Ask Williams shot going on.
Wasn't there like an edit of someone who like removed the hair of her and she looks just like a dude?
Yeah, she looks like a guy. I don't know why they made her look like a dude though. Make her look stronger looking. There's female bodybuilders that look like chicks that are built
I
shit
know.
out of it. Face that dude. You could have used one of them as a model for the body, but you didn't. You just made her look straight up like a guy.
Her face, that is. She definitely has something resembling an hourglass shape.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
I couldn't really pass it up. I didn't plan to go in with a critical eye, but about halfway through episode 1, it was clear to me I was gonna have a lot to say. As a little tidbit, I have a Let's Play channel, Graham Games. Go check it out, why not? That uses the
I'd rather
He-Man
not.
logo and theme as its main inspiration. I don't know why this show has left such an impression on me, but it stood out in my mind for so many years, and I still have unbelievably fond memories of growing up with Masters of the Universe. I want to start by addressing something fairly specific that may help you decide whether or not this show is worth your time, before knowing much else about it. Who is this for? I see a lot of people asking this, and in many ways, I think the answer is me. Like I said, I grew up watching reruns of the original 80s cartoons.
I grew up with DVDs of the original He-Man. I did not like the new series at all. I'd rather watch the original immensely.
Every episode. The mornings that they released, he was up watching them. I showed him one episode of this, and he said no. I showed him the first episode, and he didn't even get through half of the episode.
You watched the entirety of it?
No, stop
Oh,
watching.
half the first episode, my bad.
Yeah, he got through half. He wanted to quit after Kilo started screaming at everybody.
I don't blame him.
But I don't get the whole "this show wasn't made for you" spiel. I hate that spiel. I always hate, "oh, this show wasn't made for you." It's like, doesn't matter if it was made for me at all. I can still enjoy it and talk about it. It's like,
There are certain instances where it does apply, but this is not one of them.
well, what are some of those? What are some of those instances?
I would say an instance where where something isn't made for someone like me or you would be anything involving Kamala Khan.
What?
She's a slice of life character.
So, A. That Hero, was that even a good example?
Can you state the example again for what is it for?
Kamala Khan's comic is okay. Toxic. I presume that you know about Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, right?
Oh, you mean the one that just stretches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Mr. Fantastic Fast Child. Why?
Her power actually has two things to it. She stretches, and she gets hard.
So Choji from Naruto. No, he didn't stretch, he expands. And gets hard. Wait, am I Choji?
Is Choji just a dick?
He's a fat bitch. Okay, good lord, let's get back.
Anyway, what I was getting at is that her comics are mostly slice of life dramas instead of actual superheroics.
Okay, does that whole argument just mean the target market? Is that what that means? The whole, oh, this wasn't written for you.
I genuinely don't know. I don't know what they are getting at most of the time.
That would make sense, but the way people use it just feels like it was made for specific individuals and not like a target demographic, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't mind the character Kamala Khan, just wish that her super name was something else. Literally anything else.
So, out my eyes. Here, do you have anything else to add?
I don't know what the point of bringing up Kamala Khan was.
I
It was
just brought it up
an
because
example of bringing up a slice of life comic made by the people who make the Avengers and stuff.
yeah.
I guess. I mean, I guess I get it, but is that all
As
you had?
something that's not made for you?
Yeah.
I think that's a demographic thing because again, like what I said, was that the way people use it, it wasn't made. I feel like they're trying to specifically say something about certain individuals instead of a target demographic. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but
I think I get what you're getting at.
Okay, there you go.
Let's continue.
Original 80s cartoon. I never saw the 2002 He-Man and haven't seen the new She-Ra reboot. I am a very narrow, very specific audience member who I think is primed to get the most out of this series. I'm old enough to remember the source material, but young enough to succumb to the nostalgia hits this show is offering. Smith and crew touted that the show would be accessible to fans of the original series and newcomers alike. And if you ask me, that simply isn't true.
Hold on. Oh, we skipped somehow, didn't we?
No?
Okay, because earlier when it was playing, he was talking about he didn't see the original show, and then it feels like it clipped backwards a bit.
No, he did see the original show.
In new directions that you could potentially follow along with, but I think the highs of this show were really contingent on at least partially knowing the source material. As a young, adultish white man, so much stuff is made from my exact...
Oh my.
Oh. Fuck you.
He said it. He said it. He said it.
R-rated superheroes are made specifically for white guys? That's kind of racist.
Yeah, that's horrible. Why would you say that? What does... Oh my god,
So,
stupid
What's
pricks
worse
that...
is that he recommends a Patrick H. Williams video.
I feel like racism's a little bit worse. But...
Racism worse than Patrick Williams? I don't think so. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But God, he's one of those people that focus on the fact that he's white and a bunch of white people back in the day did horrible things. Listen, buddy, if you're in the U.S., you're mixed with so many things. You're just not white anymore. You look white, but you're not. Congratulations, you're some kind of bastardization. Welcome to America.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Country of bastard blood.
If it happened more than 100 years ago, it don't matter no more.
Well, of course it matters. Something bad happened, but you can't blame people that were born today for crap that happened years ago, decades ago.
Yeah.
So what could I have done about this? Nothing, because I wasn't there.
Exactly.
Like the event
didn't do
itself, like if the events itself are significant, but they don't have the same impact they did. They don't have the same impact now that they did back then.
We don't call modern Germany Nazis, do we?
I mean, I do, but that's a joke with me and my friends from Germany.
Wait, hold on. You have Germans? We need Germans on the show. Bring them. But it is just so irritating. Rewind it back a bit. Just a little bit.
I think the highs of this show were really contingent on at least partially knowing the source material. As a young, adultish white man, so much stuff is made from my exact demographic, and I think this is no different.
Why are you saying this? And why are you using this video as an example?
You know what? That video's on our chopping blog. Thank you now for putting that on our radar. That's definitely
Well,
going to be put on.
well, I mean, EFAP's already covered it.
I don't
they
care.
did?
We
No,
had
no, if he's not covered it, they ripped it open and dissected it and wrote books on the dissection. We're done. We're not doing it. But no, I didn't know they already covered it. So,
Yeah, they covered it. It was EFAP like 100 something.
I'll definitely have to watch that next time I'm playing Elden Ring. I'm sorry, but I think this is a good line for me. Anyway, if you bring up the fact that your race plays into any writing thing, I'm not talking to you anymore because your race does your race has nothing to do with the writing.
your race as an individual has nothing to do with the writing.
Exactly. Like,
if you're going to bring race into a work of fiction, and you want it to be a significant part of that fiction, and you want it to matter in some regard, then you need to. Sorry?
If it's about somebody's struggle during a certain period of time, we can still read it and, like, what's the word?
Get something out of it?
Sympathize. No, we can sympathize with the people because again, we weren't around back then, dog. We think that shit fucked up. None of that shit should have happened, but guess what it did? Blame us for crap that happened a long time ago. But again, don't bring your race and stuff. Like, well, I'm a white man, so I don't think I need to talk on this subject. It's like the meme that we always pass around that Soul's college friends told him, or college people, individuals that went with him to college, that he was talking about. What were you talking about specifically?
Fuck, I can't remember.
It was some kind of show or movie or book, whatever it was. It was a story that had to do with like a gay main character, right?
I think. I don't know for certain, but there's a chance I may have been talking about She-Ra at the time for some reason, or either that or was.
Yeah, it was because we were talking about covering She-Ra.
Yeah. Yeah. We were at the time we were talking about covering She-Ra.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was She-Ra, because that day we actually went into VR and watched some of the episodes. But they said to you, the Soul, you can't criticize a movie with a gay character because you haven't lived the LGBT experience. That's retarded. Listen, I'm pretty sure that I didn't go hunt a whale or throw a nuke into space to kill aliens. So I'm pretty sure that I can. Listen, you know what, guys? We can't talk about any movies if we haven't lived their experiences. So I want all the reviewers on the internet to shut up, stop talking. No, don't. I only want people from the mob to talk about mob movies. I want terrorists to talk about terrorist movies. I want people who abducted people back in the past to talk about movies where they abduct people. I want Nazis to talk about World War II movies.
I only want firefighters talking about firefighting shows and movies.
Yeah. I think they get the point, but it's a stupid argument. You can still talk about anything. If it exists, you can critique it. You can. You can have an opinion on it. That's ridiculous. You can't. Also, who are you to tell me that I can't do anything? Exactly.
Yeah. Who the fuck do you think you are telling me what I cannot and cannot do? Can and cannot do.
Well, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that things are made specifically for people of a race. In terms of.
I know, but we're talking about something that happened like half a year ago.
If you're referring to your college friend, then yeah.
Yeah. It was more of a broadened thing after it started.
Correction, I think it would have happened about a year ago. Now that I think about it. If
almost
not,
a year ago,
yeah, if not 9 months.
It was around 9 months, yeah. Because we were still doing a show then. Anyway, yes, let's bring up the fact that you're white and continue watching.
I think this is no different. The original version had a PSA at the end of every episode teaching children to be better.
Remember, it's your body and no one should touch you in a way that you feel is wrong.
What a fucking choice of a PSA. I'm just pausing for audio copyright.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I love their lifeless faces. Oh god, he meant like, listen up, bitch.
Listen up, bitch. If you've been touched in an inappropriate way, you need to contact the proper authorities. Not me, the police.
Show me on one of my trademarked action figures where the person touched you.
He touched me here. Ah, the trademark bicep.
You trust, like your parents, or your minister or rabbi.
And a sword.
What was that?
Oh, He-Man, no.
Minister or rabbi?
I think we're missing something. Even I'm lost at that.
Steven, he was mine.
Should we go back and hear the PSA again?
I hate priests.
Body and no one should touch you in a way that you feel is wrong.
If you've been touched that way, don't be ashamed. Tell someone you trust, like your parents, or your minister or rabbi.
And a sword wielding.
Oh no. No.
Poorly aged things. Okay, I'll give you that one, sir.
Mrs. Old Voice. And Mrs. Old Voice, it was powerful.
He sounded like a dad.
Priests or rabbi exist in the He-Man universe, confirmed.
Wait, Christianity?
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Well, no, dude, Earth exists. Does that mean that the Holocaust exists?
Yeah.
Oh my god. He-Man didn't stop the Holocaust. Why?
No, there was no He-Man to stop Hitler.
Look, it happened like 100 years before He-Man takes place.
I know.
No, man.
Joking.
No, I'm sorry, but what if Hitler got the sword?
Then he'd become the Ubermensch.
Hitler? Would he become Hitler?
Hitler!
Alright, let's go before we fucking get cancelled for old tweets.
Muscle man who wasn't allowed to actually hit bad guys or really use his weapons at all. Whereas this one had murder and violence aplenty. It's not gory, but if you're a parent looking to introduce your kids to the world of Eternia you grew up with, I'm genuinely sorry, but this show wasn't really made.
You call that not gory?
Well, it's the man becoming Ash.
It's pretty fucking violent still.
No, he said it is. He says, unlike the old show, this is more violent and gory.
Then I misheard.
Of any kind in mind. That may seem totally at odds with the source, but it wouldn't be the first time that we took an old children's property and made it something that me and my fellow white 20 to 30 somethings would enjoy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god, shut up!
Wait, did you just use Titans as a good example for anything?
Titans is made for white people. It's your fault.
Dude, Cyborg? He didn't inspire any young black people.
Look,
what?
man,
No.
Starfire being black, that's for all the white people.
Yeah, yes, race changing the golden chick from another planet to looking like a black chick.
Robin killing people, it's like, fuck that, man. That's
Robin killing Batman?
But only the white people like that.
Don't you know only white people...
Don't you know them crackers will enjoy anything?
That's an actual slur, apparently. We can't say that.
It's a slur against white people, so we can say it.
No, any slur we can't say. No, it's on Twitch.
Oh.
Cracker, faggot. I don't know.
Okay. Hey, what's up, my cracker?
I gave him... Listen, I gave him that... the offense. You can say it.
I'm collecting these passes like the Infinity Stones.
Are you actually going to use them though, Mr. Robot, or are you just going to try to drop nukes on the planet?
What?
Ultron. What if?
Ah.
Spoilers for now, but I can totally get why people are mad at Kevin Smith.
I know what you're referring to.
At Kevin Smith. A bit of context to that fan outrage, and a major
I just want to see that graph again.
things would enjoy.
Fuck Batman.
I'm going to avoid specific spoilers for now, but I can totally get why people are mad at Kevin Smith. Giving
My god, the spike!
The massive spike.
Dude, the graph page to 10. Oh my god.
And it's listed in weeks.
It maxed at 20, oh my god. Wait a minute, weeks ago, -4. Okay.
a bit of context, fan outrage, and
What?
Jesus Christ.
Ah.
I'm invoking Jesus Cristo.
You're just invoking the Lord and Savior of the white people, I see.
Yeah, because everybody knows.
You know, white is actually every color put together, so people of color is actually white people.
You know,
the more you know about colors.
You know, Jesus was probably a Jewish man of the Middle Eastern descent.
Yeah, Jesus was brown, dude. He wasn't
Yeah,
black.
Jesus was Jewish because Christianity didn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah, because dude, yes, because the snowflake would be walking around doing miracles. They wouldn't stone that person to death.
Because Jesus invented Christianity, of course he was Jewish first.
Enough about the Bible. Dude, I don't know how we brought up the Bible and Hitler in the same stream, but we did it. Bingo.
Hitler's disciples.
Never mind. Never mind. I was about to make a dumb joke.
I'm trying to drink my water. You prick.
Your water.
You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Hitler would hate Jesus.
What?
Hitler.
Okay, no,
he was Jewish.
Before you dig yourself into a hole, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
And a major why the show was so negatively received. Seeing the way he's been pitching the show for years and telling fans it'll be He-Man oriented. I know he wanted to keep the actual direction of the show a secret, but many feel that they were misled, with He-Man simply being used as a marketing tool.
They were lied to, you fuck!
That wasn't okay, listen, facts don't care about your feelings. We were lied to. Not feel like we were lied to. Piss off with that.
Fuck you.
Look.
We were lied to. And that's probably the worst part of the situation, beyond it being bad. Like,
we were lied to.
Like, even if the show itself was just kinda shit, the biggest part is that we were lied to. You fuck.
I think if the show were more honestly, fan reception would have been far more positive.
As you were saying, Hero?
I wasn't saying anything.
No, you said something earlier and I thought you said we were talking.
I'm operating at like half power, man, so...
Far more positive. They really used nostalgia to lure people in, then pulled a big bait and switch. If you would have been following the development of this show for years, you're likely rather rightfully mad about that.
Wait a minute.
They used nostalgia to lure people in, pulled a big bait and switch. If you would have been following
Masters of the Universe TM. Revelation TM.
Wait, hold on. Did they trademark the word Revelations?
I don't know, did they?
Because there's a TM at Revelation. Unless it's like another title on top of the original title.
But then why would you just have it not as Masters of the Universe Revelation TM instead of Masters of the Universe TM Revelations TM?
I
don't know, but that's how I'm going to refer to the show now, as He-Man Revelations TM. TM.
Yeah.
The
Following
best
the development of this show for
The best revelation is the one in the Bible.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
stop bringing up the Bible, you fucking bony fuck.
Yeah, and listen, hey, you're a front to the
Oh.
Bible. Shut up, you
I'm
Don't.
deaf though. I'm not a demon.
Yeah, death's in the Bible, man.
I'm the angel that took all those kids back in Egypt.
Listen, guys, I did some weird stuff in my past, okay?
Yeah, Soul touched all those kids.
Don't even joke about that. Don't.
We're joking, obviously. Anyway, let's continue before we get...
No, look, you see, the joke is that you wouldn't do that, because you already had the PSA from He-Man, and you already know that's bad.
I've known it's bad since I was small.
No, see, when you
Because
die...
He-Man told you.
Yes, because He-Man told you. He-Man is the source of morality in society.
He-Man stabbed pedophilia.
I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Dude, you know how to end
Maybe
pedophilia?
the real friends are the He-Mans we met along the way.
No, listen, just have He-Man just rip apart a pedophile. And that would just destroy pedophilia from ever happening in Eternia. Because it's not like, oh, you get thrown in prison. No, He-Man pulls you apart in front of everyone. There you go.
On live TV.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be televised all
On
over the world.
Eternia Live.
Yeah, Eternia Live. It's going to be a blood sport.
Honestly,
But
sorry, I honestly really like George Collins' idea.
No, don't. We're not talking about that one. Not here.
Another time, perhaps.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, let's continue.
years, you're likely rather rightfully mad about that manipulation. As someone who completely ignored the show until the day it came out, I had no expectations and had the pleasant surprise of a new twist on a familiar property. But really, I kind of disagree with...
Okay.
Look at these thumbnails.
Well, okay, well, that's nice and all, but we were lied to. The people that were following the show when, you know, big trailers and shit got announced and stuff.
Their erotic thumbnails are weird. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, they're a little weird.
Also, can we talk about the actual show?
Yeah.
And not the fan
Yeah.
reaction?
Yeah, I'd like to see the talk about the show, but what are you about to bring up? That's the point. Rewind it just a wee bit about these guys.
As someone who completely the show until the day it came out, I had no expectations and had the pleasant surprise of a new twist on a familiar property. But really, I kind of disagree with all of this. Yeah, I understand that the show hasn't gone in the direction that fans were expecting. But if they wanted to have any form of effective twist, Kevin Smith did kind of have to lie to you.
Oh, go
You are
fuck yourself.
No, you
assuming-
fucking idiot!
He had to lie to us to twist the
I'm
stuff.
sorry, but like, go fuck yourself?
Yeah, hard. Just like with a tactic.
No! No, Kevin Smith never had to lie.
Up yours with a shredder glove.
He could have just said it was a show set in the He-Man universe.
He could have said, this is about Tila.
Yeah, you could have
Or-
a story about Tila.
But it's
People
like,
would sit and watch
he said, oh man, I wanted the effective twist. Then just don't say anything.
The only reason you did it is because you knew that it wasn't going to make as much money if it wasn't marketed that it was a He-Man specific series. That's the only reason why you lied to us. That's the only reason. Think about it. We're gonna make a show about Tila. It's gonna make money, but not as much money as it would be for an actual He-Man show. You know?
Even though He-Man on his own could probably make massive fucking money. But
Well,
no,
it's
because you lied to everybody, you made even less money that you were going to in the long run. You fuck.
And ruined your integrity.
And reputation.
You ruined your reputation, your integrity, your ability to write anything good. All that's out in the open now.
You brought this on yourself.
He did.
Every bit of criticism that Kevin Smith has earned, well, has gained, is earned 100%.
Well,
Do I condone
no.
threatening the man? No.
Okay, then that means your statement is wrong. Reword it then.
Alright. Almost every instance of criticism, and I mean constructive criticism towards the writing and how this man has behaved, is warranted. I do not, however, agree with going as far as to threaten the man.
I would love to debate this guy.
I would, however, agree with calling him a fuckhead.
I was continuing.
Hold on. So this, I don't think I can go on. I'm really fucking tired. It was a long day.
I think me and Toxic can manage on our own.
Yeah, we're gonna shove on for a little bit. We're probably gonna leave the rest of it for the next episode, and then we're gonna do part 2. I think we're gonna get halfway on this one tonight because there's a lot to talk about. So I think we're gonna get halfway to almost finish it, and then by the next episode you can watch this video up to where we left off, and you can tell us your point.
Right.
Yeah. So let's try to get to at least 35 minutes.
Alright, let's go.
But the
This is
second
gonna be a
half
little
of
bit of a shorter one.
the show won't be He-Man oriented, and it almost certainly will be. I'm calling it now. I exist in some weird, precise limbo, where I have a fondness for the original series and strong memories of it, but no major fandom for it. For me, it's always been this sit back and enjoy, point and laugh, goofy adventure. But if they would have made 20 more episodes of that, I probably wasn't gonna watch. So I don't feel betrayed at all with this reinvention of it.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have watched it regardless.
Okay, so he doesn't actually see the writing issues. That's the issue. He's just like, oh my god, I don't have any feeling one way or the other, so it's fine for me. Like,
He has
okay,
no
but what
opinion.
about-
He's a sheep.
Yeah, what about all the writing issues? Oh, well, that's fine. They don't want the original show. It's like, what does that have to do with it? What does that have to do with any of it? It doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with it. You should be able to actually look at the story and say it's good or bad. Writing can be objectively good and objectively horrible. Enjoying something is subjective. Talking about that. But no, these people just don't get that at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they just can't sit and say that something's bad or not. And I don't think he's actually going to bring up any of the critical issues in this show.
Which are very well and definitely present, and they're probably going to be magnified with Resistance or whatever the fuck. You know, season 2. The proper season 2.
Yeah. Anyway. I think about that all I can say.
Yeah. Let us continue.
So again, who is this show for? If you either don't know the original series at all, or are a super fan of either the 80s or early 2000s versions, I would assume you are much less likely to enjoy Revelations. So I'd love to discuss parts of this show that genuinely do work for me. Things.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. For me, I've only watched a handful of episodes here and there. My dad. And yet I still hate this. You know why? The writing of it's shit. and I'm a grown up that can actually compartmentalize if I enjoy something versus if the writing is crap. Me and Hero have been talking about Castlevania recently. I have watched that thing I don't know how many times, and there's even a lot of things that he just on this first watch or is pointing out things that I didn't know. His writing isn't the best. It's not the worst. It's just in the middle. It's meh, but I still really enjoy it. But I can at least sit there and point out the issues that I have with it, and still sit and enjoy it.
Mm.
Super. But my point is that you need to learn to actually sit there and go, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is good. You need to grow up.
And there are instances where you just have to cut your losses and just say, fuck this is utter shit, there's nothing redeeming about it. Let's watch something else.
Yeah. But they don't.
Cause I'm starting to get to that point with Halo specifically, like
Yeah.
I have heard that season 3 of Halo Infinite's fucking multiplayer thing is going to be another 6 months long. I'm not going to continue with the game if it is.
Way to wedge bones. But yeah.
Sorry, I missed what you heard.
So yeah, E-Man, Master Universe, and there's just people. We found one that I'm assuming can't heal back the issue. Because again, he thinks that it has to be made for him to hate it, or to actually look at it with a critical eye, I guess? I don't know what he means when he says most. Like, oh, well, I'm connected to the original show, so I don't see the flaws. Like, a man kills a dog in front of everybody. You don't know him. Do you still see the flaws?
Yeah, fucking sheep.
Yeah. Sheep.
Sheep.
Sheep, you're a sheep.
For me, things from the actual show, not just the conversation surrounding it. Celebrating the old. Let's be honest here, the original show was a commercial. That's it, that's how it started. They set out to make 65 episodes in the first season.
Hey. You're echoing again.
Sorry.
So, okay. We've actually pointed this out in our episodes where we were watching it, which is still being edited. They will be out soon. But we actually pointed this out. E-Man started out as a Ford commercial. Most of the shows from the 80s did. But here's the thing.
It created a very interesting world with this even standing as a commercial. Like, it had a really creative world. There was tons of character.
It grew past its group. It grew past just it being a set of toys.
It was a story. It had character.
Yeah.
There's a big world to explore in it.
Same thing with Transformers. The biggest example I can give is Transformers. Transformers has become its own thing. And it's not just toys anymore. Either that or it's just usually being written on to sell toys. I mean, yeah, it's marketing for stuff. I'm getting off track.
Second biggest example, I would say, would probably have to go to Gundam.
Gundam wasn't made to sell toys, though.
Yes, but it was pitched to the people that it was meant to. It was pitched to sponsors in a way that would suggested that it would sell toys.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah.
Rewind it just a wee bit, like 10 seconds. Okay.
Also,
Celebrating
how
the
does how does this show at all celebrate the old? It honestly kills more of the old than it celebrates, and it celebrates the new characters that it introduces in itself. It's sucking itself off, basically.
Well, yeah, no, dude, it's gonna be the jangling keys. That's all it is. It's gonna be jangling keys.
It's sucking itself off whilst also playing with all his dad's toys
Yeah.
at the
Like, do you
same
remember
time.
Boba Fett? It's probably, yeah. That's exactly what it feels like, honestly.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, let us continue.
Celebrating the old. Let's be honest here, the original show was a commercial. That's it, that's how it started. They set out to make 65 episodes in the first season, airing them 5 days a week because they wanted immediate syndication and to sell you a product. I know the show turned out better than it had any right to be, but I don't think I was actually that interested in a show that followed that same format. They were mapping it out in this formulaic way with one hand tied behind their back, because they always had to introduce the new toy, restore the status quo, and create some more than easily digestible TV. And
Okay, but here's the thing. It was a good show that had very good stories some of the time, like...
He pointed out, he said that.
Yeah.
He said it became better than it had any right to be.
True.
that's fine.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to make some intellectual, long-running series, and now Revelations is making the show for a more mature audience. And that cookie-cutter style would have gotten old very quickly, creating...
Here's the thing. This show is probably more cookie-cutter than the original.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, here's the thing.
You have tropes, yeah.
By the end of this season, the status quo is restored. Barely anything of consequence happens besides the death of heaven.
Well, okay, that's a massive issue, yes. That's a huge consequence, but I guess what you were saying is like numerous consequences.
Yeah. Like, you'd think that tons of people would have died in the final battle.
Yeah, no, they don't. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's more people on the field after the final battle is over.
Yeah.
Hey, do you gotta go to the bathroom? Because I do.
No, I don't. I can hold the fort.
Okay, yeah, hold the fort for a little bit. Talk about the show. Anything stupid.
In any case, the new show has some kind of nice animation every once in a while. At least 60% of it is just people standing around and talking. If not more than 60%. Because there isn't an action scene in... I want to say episode 2 or 3. One of those two. It's one of them. An entire episode is without action. It doesn't even have a redeeming factor of there being good action, because some of it is just fucking boring. If anything, I honestly suggest that you watch literally anything else other than this show. Watch the original He-Man, or the new Adventures of He-Man, or the 2002 He-Man, or hell, go for Gundam, Transformers, G.I. Joe, whatever you damn well please. Any of those is better than this show. Do you know why? Because all of them have something that this show doesn't. A sense of good writing. A sense of good characterization. And, consequence, to some extent. To a lesser extent on He-Man, Transformers, and G.I. Joe, since those are, episodic shows, while Gundam is much more of a singular narrative throughout the whole show.
Okay, I'm back.
Sweet.
I hope you weren't quiet the entire time.
No, I was just talking about. I was just saying like people shouldn't watch the new He-Man thing and just go back and watch the old one.
Yeah, just go back and watch the original. You'll be getting a lot more insightful episodes.
And there's a lot more good content in there.
Yep. So, let us continue.
Yes.
An actual running narrative is the simplest and best thing they could have done with this property. Just like on day one, when all the producers are in a room together and they're deciding what they want the series to be. The smartest thing anyone could have said is, what if we presented the show with a running, ongoing storyline? That alone was a good reason to make this show. With the
That's pretty normal for action shows. At least it was
Yeah.
back in the 2000s. Now it's... You're lucky to even get a single action show from the West. In animation,
What,
at
you mean
least.
a new one? You mean a new one or one that's just rehashable?
A new one.
No, they couldn't pull from the game because there wasn't enough downtime, so they had to pull action from other things. I'm trying to make a Halo reference or video on Halo, but I'm my brain's too dead.
There is tons of downtime in gameplay that you could have had... That you could probably, you know, incorporate as, like, story moments. Or little
But
character...
there's none. I was told there wasn't. I played the game. There wasn't. I was told there wasn't, so there wasn't. Let's continue. Let's not continue.
Yeah, I remember that video. I fucking hate that video.
Series acting as a direct sequel to the original, they made sure the first episode feels like a series finale, turning the Battle of Grayskull into an all-out war.
It's not a finale, though.
Why would you have the finale of the original show be your first episode? Wouldn't you rather establish your own sort of thing based off... Oh, God. This is so dumb. Oh, I'm struggling to even think of an answer for this. Okay. Why the fuck didn't Kevin Smith start with something like, say, making a season establishing the status quo with a few action scenes here and there?
Why do you keep saying status quo?
Huh?
Why do you keep saying status quo? See, this would have been, like, I can't remember if I mentioned it in our episode or in the lives that we did each episode. Because after, in Season 2, spoilers obviously, in Season 2, when He-Man gets the power and he goes into the light hole, and just figures out that if he waits long enough, he won't have to, if he waits long enough, he can control the entire universe. Right? Which just so happens to happen close to when he gets the power. I really wish that they would have had some kind of scene where he has like some kind of psychic character or something like that. Like this has a meltdown or some kind of thing. It's like Cataclysm, death, master of the universe, and then like some kind of collapse, and then later she explains fully. And Skeletor's like, man, bring the battle tanks around.
You're breaking up a fair bit.
Yeah, I know. And then he goes and tries to take Grayskull with purpose, or even more of a purpose. He's throwing everything he has at it now because he knows that if he gets there and gets the power, then he could rule not only Eternia, but the entirety of creation. Or whatever. Like, you don't even have to tell him what it is. You just have to say, there is going to be an event. it's the person who has the power will be even more powerful or something. I don't know. Again, this is the top of my head. And then he'd be like, "Oh, bitchin'," and then he, goes and gets Grayskull.
Bitchin'.
Everything he has.
Sorry, you continue.
No, that's all I have to say. Just like you could have done that instead of him just going, "I'm bored. You know what? I'm tired of this cat and mouse game. Let's go. Everything. I'm gonna give you everything, and I'm gonna take the castle."
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't have a purpose, and then when he gets into the light bar after he takes the power, it's all just like, he's like, "Evelyn, listen to this cool wax shit I found. If you look in here," brings her into the light bar, the universal sack will grant me power after a few days. Paul gets thrown out and says, "Oh my god, no," she has her whole mental breakdown. He's just like, "Oh, be quiet, that would be rude." Yeah, no, it's stupid.
It's completely asinine.
I'd rather him take the power and then check if the whatever you even call this, the witch, let's call her that, the witch was correct. And he's like, "Oh, look at this, you were correct. I will be the strongest in the universe." And he just starts screaming and whatever he does. Evil laugh cackle. And there you go. But no, it's just, doesn't like the first episode open up where he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna attack Grayskull with everything. I'm tired of it." It's stupid.
This show's story makes no goddamn sense.
Don't make no goddamn sense, boy. Anyway, let's go.
Far larger than anything we've seen. Skeletor is pulling his usual tricks, schemes, and double fakes to gain entrance to the castle.
Oh, that CGI is really bad.
Yep.
You're waiting for them to do the fake out on the fake out and realize the good guys have the upper hand. But they were really upping the ante in ways we've never seen before. You start to realize it's not going to go the way you were predicting. This is solidified by Skeletor going psycho and actually killing a minor character. It was an amazing thing to see a series with no real continuity suddenly being handled in a way where the stakes aren't just large, but that there were stakes at all. That's totally...
There were stakes in the original show, but I guess
there was always the threat of someone finding about Skeletor finding about, He-Man's identity, or taking the sword, or somehow managing to get past everybody and take Castle Grayskull for
Castle Scraggle.
Shut up! Shut up!
No, you need to draw Scraggle now. Castle Scraggle. The German Castle Scraggle. Castle Scraggle. Das ist where we put the American after the first Wolfenstein. But yeah, no, I guess I get what he means, but still, like, they could have written it better. Don't give people this kind of power for writing if they don't have a lot of writing credit. They just can't write at all.
Agreed.
That's totally in the universe. The episode doesn't end with a reset to the normal, but an entirely redefined status quo. I'm not sure I really like the weird way the lore of Grayskull itself gets retconned to feel insubstantial, when it has always kind of been a centerpiece of the series, but I suppose it matters less when the goal is to break that mold and move the characters around more of Eternia rather than locking them in one place, exclusively defending one stronghold. So removing that center of mysticism makes sense from that perspective, but it's all the power of Grayskull. I suppose that's unchanged, but it was a little sad to see the actual castle tweaked in that way. It's interesting, but it's a slight disrespect to the source material. So in that point specifically...
I would say it's a major disrespect, wouldn't you, Toxic?
Well, the castle has a different form, a different look, so I mean, I guess I can't remember how they do this. It's been that long since I watched everything.
Yeah.
But
This guy's talking out his ass, if I'm honest.
Well, I mean, if it could have done it on its own, then I guess it's fine. If like the castle just looks like that now, and that's like how it originally looked, I guess the castle could change. I guess.
Hmm.
Because I mean, look how it looks now. Like that definitely looks like there's kind of magicry going on in there, and you definitely want to try to break in that versus like a giant skull castle. You know.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate.
look, think about it this way. What looks cooler? A vague-ass looking shimmering crystal castle, or a metal-ass looking skull of stone?
Probably the shimmering castle, to be honest.
Fuck you.
It's the pane glass windows. That's what does it for me.
Well, I personally think that the skull is way cooler.
Hold on. Wasn't there a scene earlier that was played where He-Man was throwing somebody off of the mouth of Grayskull, and then them landing in a puddle of mud?
That was
that
like
just a
no, that was in a forest.
Oh, it looked like the mouth of Grayskull though.
I swear it was in a forest.
I was gonna say, what did they do? Retcon the entire geology, or whatever the word is for ground of like where Grayskull is sitting?
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's confirmed.
Typically, I'm a little 50-50. I haven't really seen other people say if they liked or hated that. I would guess they disliked it. I personally really like the commitment to staying true to the original character designs, matching the colors, the general shapes, and silhouettes. Seeing slightly altered versions of the silly 80s camp, like He-Man's ridiculous hair and pink leotard, was designs matching the colors, the general shapes, and silhouettes. Seeing slightly altered versions of the silly 80s camp, like He-Man's ridiculous hair.
That's pretty normal hair.
The same. Yeah. I've had that hair before.
It's pretty fucking normal hair, if I'm honest.
Yeah, just slightly less messy as the other one.
But what do I know? I'm Australian.
Yeah, you're upside down. Everybody's hair stands up to you.
I'll kick your ass.
No, you won't. Listen, you'll have to unbuckle and you'll fall and spit.
I'll kick your ass. I swear it. Someday. I will.
You won't. Well.
Whatever. Let's continue.
And pink leotard was great to see. You really can't get rid of those elements.
That's
While
not a
animation
leotard.
team had already given us their version of these original costumes. Later in the series, we get to see maybe how they would have designed them starting nearly from scratch. But only
Anima designs are shit. They are really fucking shit.
A lot of them, yeah.
Like, what's the point of a chest plate if you're not gonna have any form of shoulder armor? Like, also, like, leather? Fucking useless. Absolutely useless.
Just show off her arm.
Well, still, leather armor is utterly useless. It is the most useless thing imaginable. You'd be better off with Gambison.
My God, you said a random crazy word. Please, Shad, tell us what it is.
You can tell I'm a fan of Shad.
I actually haven't watched any of this, a lot of this stuff, but tell me what Gambison is.
watch, but only after doing the originals first and making sure there are
Let's
really
ask you
direct
that
links
model.
between the old
Sorry?
Well, I'll look it up later. Press play.
and new. I love how faithfully that was done, and it was kind of needed, so that was a really great way to go about it. I don't know how closely people pay attention to this, but I've always, even before attempting any animation of my own, found the recycled and reused animation loops in this show hilarious. They have to really bend over backwards sometimes to make sure it fits. And there were some
Not really. I wouldn't say that at all. I'd say this is pretty.
To be fair, how many animation stills can you make of He-Man punching the screen?
Yeah. Like, I'm fine with reused animation so long as it like works within the show.
Yeah.
And this wasn't bending over backwards. This is pretty par for the course, if you ask me.
Yep. Everything does it.
I'm pretty sure I'd say that it was a lot more egregious even before He-Man.
But yeah, of course they are. That's not the argument.
some exact one-to-ones in the animation, mimicking what was done back in the 80s in ways that's pure fan service, and it was so fun to see.
They didn't even integrate the CGI properly. You fucking ass.
No, I didn't.
We've seen those same rotoscoped poses and frames 100 times over, and suddenly we're seeing them again, totally reimagined. To pay tribute to and update that in a way that I'm sure they wished they could have done 40 years ago.
The original was. The new one was not at all. They didn't. I don't think they recreated any of the. From what I remember, they didn't recreate any of the original poses or frames.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, the way that Skeletor walked Adam in the war room, pretty sure that's rotoscope a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know.
Is pretty special. I think that added a lot for me personally. And while I'm not overly familiar with all the deeper lore that they laced into the mini-comics or through other means, I can appreciate the instances where they stayed true to that as much as possible. I don't recall the Power Sword being made of two halves ever being significant to the old show itself, but some
That's from the toys.
Yeah, it's from the toy.
The original toy.
Yeah. That's not the original toy, though.
I know, but it is from the original toy. This is a newer toy.
Someone clearly did their research and maintained that bit of series canon. I think that really highlights how affectionately the show was made, and that the writers were fans first. So I felt they carried a very genuine and apparent love for the show, and what better way to show that than with great casting and really.
How can you say that they loved the show when they used the sword without having to use the sword without use the power without the sword, and they use the sword just to make another champion? Can you say they love the show? None of it makes sense. Where are you pulling this
Every
from?
addition that they've made to this show has made the continuity make less and less sense and significantly worse off.
They pulled something small from a deep lore part of the thing. They could just Google deep lore bits, or even just look up.
I don't even think it was actually even a part of the original show. I think that was just like either just a toy thing, or may have been referenced in one of the comics. Only once though.
Yeah, so they're pulling from different He-Man stuff, but it doesn't show they love it. It just shows that so they can get deep-rooted fans to enjoy it. That's not a point of praise, unless they do it consistently, which I don't think they do. They just keep referencing things. Like, oh, remember the toy line, the sword were two things, so let's make the sword the two thing in the show. Let's make it for you. Do it. It's off. I made the sword in the two thing. Oh my god. But
We'll definitely have to make this into a part 2.
yeah, how many are we already an hour in?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Let's get to like our third.
Sorry?
So without a third man here, I feel like we're missing a few things.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, Duncan looks so cool.
Yeah, he does.
He lost a tiny stash and got a fade.
Wish he was in a better show, though.
Yeah, he deserved better. Let's continue.
And really selling those performances in ways that adds some weight and drama to these cartoonish characters. In a fun bit of layered fan service, and yes, I do think this show genuinely took the fans into consideration. Alan Oppenheimer actually has a cameo in this episode as the ancient being, Moss Man.
Go and get them, Grass Man!
Quickly, Bowstar! Hit him with the stun ray!
Oh my god!
That's a fan
What?
parody thing. It's a parody thing.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay. Press play?
No, not quite that.
You defile the heart of Grayskull with your very presence.
Which then in this whole ironic full circle scene is directly killed off by Mark Hamill's Skeletor. That's really cool. While we're
Wait, so they have the original Skeletor voice, and they had the Mark Hamill one kill him off.
Yeah.
You waste. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Don't know. You didn't even have the original voice actor do it. Mark Hamill is fine, but he's nowhere near the original.
we're on the subject of voice acting carrying these mantles, I have a perfect segue. I want to dedicate a section to one of the inarguable strengths of this series, before sharing a few criticisms and then dedicating the rest of the video with what I genuinely liked about it. I'm purposely structuring that to create a bit of a positivity sandwich here. I don't want to dwell on the negatives.
So you don't want to bring up the negatives. You don't want to bring up the actual issues in the show. Instead, you just want to bring up the good bit. Which, I mean, yes, you did say that this is why I liked it. So instead of actually bringing up the negatives, which would have been much better,
you just completely dismiss them as if they don't matter.
It's a positivity tuber. Oh my god. It's a PT. Positivity tuber. They don't want to bring up any negativity in shows, even if it's like two. But yeah, no, he's. I don't think he's actually gonna bring up any of the issues.
He's a bitch.
I'm so sick of these positivity tubers. I have seen too much valid criticism for anything that I see on the internet. So
I am genuinely sick and tired of these types of people.
Hero. Me and Hero are gonna fight. Oh.
Yeah?
You stop talking.
Alright.
No, well, the joke's gone now. Never mind. Continue.
And I can't ignore them, but they didn't, in my mind, define the experience. So, we're making sure to mostly stay positive. I'll start touching on light spoilers in this section, but nothing that will ruin your ability to go into the series near blind still. I think Chris Wood did a solid job with Adam. And He-Man. There isn't a lot to comment on here. His presence was simply downplayed, and not given much opportunity to shine. There was enough time there for me to recognize that it wasn't a miscast. He certainly isn't weighing the show down, but we haven't seen enough to see if he brings anything new or special to the role. Mark Hamill as Skeletor is as incredible as I assumed it would be. I just love his voice acting so much in pretty...
I honestly expected a lot more from Mark Hamill as Skeletor.
I expected him to be more campy and so serious.
Yeah, I expected him to go full ham. That's what I expected, but no, I just get serious Mark Hamill doing a bad impression of Skeletor, whereas more raspy and gravelly. Instead of He-Man, not screechy and shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he still did good. It's Mark Hamill. You can't really go wrong. But still, positivity tuber.
Pretty well anything. He has defined the Joker for me since I was a child. He's single-handedly the reason that Hobgoblin is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. So having him now redefine an important childhood character feels so well realized. I genuinely think his casting was maybe their only option. I've watched clips of the 2002 show, and it does nothing for me.
Pretend? Who's pretending? I am nice. In thought and in deed.
That original voice is so distinct.
That voice does a lot for me, honestly.
It doesn't for me because it just sounds like Professor Oak.
Regardless, I think I'd rather have that one be in the show.
He-Man, choose your Pokemon, He-Man.
Cause he at least sounds like he's trying to be Skeletor instead of, Yeah.
Distinct. It would be a disservice to try to imitate it. It's incredibly hard to update. Hamill gave us an homage to that original.
No.
How is it homage? Is it because it's coming out of his body? Skeletor's face?
It's a bad impression, if I'm honest.
It's not even an impression, it's his own thing.
He didn't even try, if I'm honest.
No, he didn't try to do Skeletor, no.
He just did his own thing. As far as I'm aware, he must have just been told to do his own thing.
Yep.
While making it wholly his own. I actually still haven't even seen the 80s Dolph Lundgren live-action He-Man movie, but I've also seen clips of that, and it's interesting to hear the similarity between Mark Hamill's Skeletor and what Frank Langella did in the live-action movie.
And I have waited so very long for this moment.
Lena Headey as Evil Lynn is an amazing pickup. She elevates every role she takes, and I have no idea how they got her on board for this.
Elevated, my friend.
They have elevated nothing because this show is utter dog shit.
Don't you get it when he means what I say, when I'm bringing this up?
Explain.
Elevating her to new heights.
Oh, right.
She became God and she killed heaven. There you go.
Yeah.
On board for this. Maybe she's not hamming it up quite enough at first. These characters are goofy and boisterous, but I think she was clearly having audible fun getting into this cartoonish character, and she really shines as the character transitions through the season. Neutral Lynn just doesn't have the same ring to it, but that was maybe where Lena did some of her best work. As someone who also grew up with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and is actively rewatching the show just for my own enjoyment, still debating if I want to do like a full series retrospective on that. Hearing Sarah Michelle Gellar as Teela is super exciting. I don't even know if that's the best match for the character, but I think I really liked it. You know, in the early episodes, I kind of thought, is that just...
Hero would have a field day with this.
A big name grab for the
pause, please. No, wait, I'll do it. I think I'm at my limit here.
You're done too?
Yep.
Well, let's at least let it get to 15 minutes. We're almost there.
Fair enough.
At 15 minutes, we will stop.
Job with it? I certainly thought so at first. It was hard to wrap my head around, since the Teela I knew was overly polite and formal. Still a competent fighter, but despite her courage and strong moral compass, was treated as somewhat clueless. I'm used to Sarah Michelle...
Clueless? She was the one that was mostly giving, like, the whole, like, moral of the story kind of things at the end. I don't think that's Clueless. I don't remember her being clueless. I don't get where you got that.
I think he
If I
was
go
trying
back,
to diss the original just for the sake of it.
yeah, just to bring up the new one, the incompetent new one. You know what? If I actually go back and I watch every episode,
I
it
have
turns
something to
out to
say
be
real
not
quick.
watching.
I have something to say real quick. I believe it was Retro Blossing. Yeah, that's it. Retro Blossing did a really good video on new fans of the new things trashing the originals for just to bring up the new things and shit. And they have no understanding of the originals, basically.
Well, he did say that he was a fan of the original and watched it, so I'm assuming that good faith here. He actually did watch the show. If I go back and I watch every episode and it turns out she's nothing like what he described, this man is a fool. I will call this man a fool if that is the case. I'm actually half tempted to actually go watch the actual He-Man series.
Agreed.
Geller being bubbly, but overly sarcastic.
What are you doing?
Breaking into your office and going through your private files.
I'm calling the police.
And pretty intense, as we saw more of her character in the series and better understood the jaded angle they were playing up. Sarah Michelle Gellar stood out as a great casting choice. But this character...
No. You did not just show that scene where she blows up on everybody because she was sad that Adam was He-Man and started yelling at a breathing father and mother. And your father, who just got kicked out of the guard because he didn't tell them.
Honestly, I think Tila might have been the reason that their marriage started to wane. More than, He-Man's death.
Yeah, actually, not gonna lie to you. Yeah, she probably might have been the reason. Just because of her blowing up like that, it's like, no, everybody lied to me, and then we would go to heaven to save him. She blames him for dying and not taking responsibility for it. And she goes, I died. And she goes, oh, it doesn't matter.
What a bitch.
Yeah. The definition of it right there.
This character really shares a name with that original Tila, and that really is the only way that this casting would have ever worked. I imagine that complete character
It's 15 minutes.
We're done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done here.
Sorry for having this being a short one. We kind of threw this one together last minute because we didn't get to actually cover anything this week because of different things that popped up. But next Friday, or at least Friday for us Americans, Saturday for you Australians, we will be covering the rest of this one and part 2 in full, and we will have the rest of the cast. We will have Hero with us. At least we know that. I'm gonna see if Pride can join us too.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for sitting through this sludge. My brain isn't as dead as it usually is when we cover somebody's retarded take, but there you go.
My brain hurts so much.
I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to stupidity.
Anyhow, hope you guys have a better day than we do. Please, go away now.